Call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Three, approval of agenda. 3 point.
The oath of office first.
Oath of office? What?
We need to do the oath
Oh.
of office for Tyler.
Oh, now I see it.
He's fully, yeah.
Oath of office.
All right. Well, we do have a new board member this evening, board member, so we'll ask Tyler to stand as we initiate the oath of office. Tyler, just raise your right hand and just say, "I do," if you agree to your oath. I swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 2689 to the best of my judgment and ability.
I do.
Congratulations.
Number three, approval of agenda. 3.1, additions. 3.11, Cara Dam, business teacher.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number four, public forum.
None.
Number five, presentation.
None.
Number six, consent agenda. Everyone had a chance to look at the consent agenda? Anybody have any questions on the consent agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number seven, financials. 7.1, review of budget year-to-date.
Okay, currently in the teacher payoffs are in here, so the July and August payoffs are in here. We're currently at 95%. Last year we were at 96%. So it looks like our expenditures are way under. However, for this bond writing that we're doing on Wednesday, I went through and I kind of estimated how many more bills we have coming in. And we probably have approximately like $210,000 more bills coming in. So we're in good shape as far as expenditures.
Okay.
We still have some more expenditures coming in to be paid for fiscal year '23.
Very good. 7.2, approved treasurer's report for June 30th, 2023.
Yeah, the current cash balance is at 9.4 million. Are there any questions? I do bank recs and this is our cash balance. I don't know if anyone has any questions regarding it.
Can I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report for June 30th, 2023?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 7.3, approve regular bills for July 2023.
Seen something in here about the playground for
Yep.
like 23,000. Was that like damage to it, or was that like that it was having? I mean, what was
That was
what would be
that was
repaired?
that we discussed a few meetings back, that the payloader drove on that
Oh,
new
okay,
surface.
it was that, okay.
And they had to come in and cut it out, redo the sub layer,
Okay.
and then
So it was
re-pour
that
it.
damage, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought his insurance was paying it.
It did, but this has to be an expense that goes on the revenue side.
No.
Yep.
So it was that same, that's what I wanted to make sure,
Yeah.
it was that same damage, okay.
Yep. I
And
saw
we did
that too.
receive the insurance check, but that's on the revenue side.
Right,
This- yeah.
okay, okay.
Any other questions on the regular bills? Can I get a motion to approve the regular bills for July of 2023?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 7.4, approve high school activity bills for July 2023. Any questions on the activity bills? No?
I move we approve the activity bills.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the high school activity bills for July 2023. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 8, board forum information. 8.1, board reports and updates. We got anything?
We had a policy meeting.
So I wasn't there, but I went through it beforehand.
Also, sticks. How was it?
It was great. We went through.
Was there a lot of discussion?
Technically, his oath hadn't been administered yet, so I think he gets his free pass.
Thank you.
So,
My only question, again, I wasn't at the meeting, but, as far as with the administration of that, the Narcan, okay, so my understanding is the people that are teachers and things like that in our school can only give it under the direction of the nurse or physician, is that how I understand that? I mean, do they have to directly be told they can give it, or,
No, because it doesn't harm somebody if you actually
Okay.
administer the Narcan.
okay.
Um,
I was just, when I was reading
Yeah.
it sounded like somewhat like the nurse or physician, prescribed physician had to actually say.
No,
Okay.
and it's real trained people on the
Yeah.
appropriate use, and
Okay.
it's because they'll have that training, we should be covered.
Okay, but it will only be employees.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
try to remember if there's any other questions that were kind of,
Any other big items?
yeah,
that was-
nothing. Just basically what the state all had just passed is what,
Yeah.
it was just like, word, like, changes like that. So nothing, I didn't think that was crazy.
I was contacted by Michael Merrill. He's asking if he can clean the waterway on our land that, where his drains, and it drains from the other side of the highway. So it'd be like on the west side of the entrance coming off the highway. And it cuts kind of right around that house that sits right there and goes out and to the west. It's all filled in with silt and dirt. He's contacted the ASCS office, and they've already started the process on getting a permit. He's gonna share more details and stuff, as it comes together. I did talk to Clint, today about it, and I talked to Michael again. He's gonna clean it out, he's gonna remove the dirt, and he's gonna come back in and seed it according to the guidelines set by the ASCS office, basically by the state. Says there's about 18 to 24 inches of buildup in there. That, last year we had an 1.5 or 2 inch rain, and it started backing up where the other side of the ditch, it couldn't come through, and so it was almost gonna come over the highway. So I'm just bringing it, we should, until he gets a permit and stuff, I mean, we can take some action if we want, as a board, or we can wait until all the i's are dotted and t's are crossed. I don't know how you guys, what the thought is.
So we would pay for,
We wouldn't pay for nothing.
oh, okay.
No cost to us.
Well, to clean it all up all good too. It'll
It's
make it
gonna,
look a lot nicer.
Yeah.
He's just gonna clean the waterways all
he's gonna clean the waterway, and just get it cleaned out, get rid of that dirt. And
Where does
there's
it go after our property? How's that though?
it goes, I believe the next one over, and I didn't drive, like Hermsville Road.
Yeah,
There's a culvert going under there, and then I think it goes through,
Is that CRP type of thing?
yep,
So he's gonna clean all the way behind.
he's gonna get ours,
Yeah.
so it gets,
To the gravel road.
yep, to that culvert.
That's because he's got a whole bunch of tile dumping there. This is in.
They
there,
just put,
those two.
they just put a bunch in there. Yeah, it's no cost to us,
Let's
it's
say
no
that.
disadvantage to us.
Right.
Yeah, and I just said, as long as you're getting the approval and
Yep.
and you're going through the correct process. For me, I was okay with it, but I told him that I was gonna he couldn't be here tonight. But I told him that I was gonna bring it up during this time, during the discussion and just,
Basically, we don't wanna be liable for anything. That's
Right.
That's his big,
yep.
is the only thing
When is he, is it gonna be something that's gonna affect, like, when school,
No,
when's he? Oh.
he'll have the dirt work done prior to school. I mean, he'd like to do it in August yet.
Okay.
And it's, like he said, it's a good year to do it because it's been dry. But I just, me, it was the legality and that, not knowing cattails and, or if it's a wetland or,
Right.
so everybody's, pretty,
I'm fine with it, as long as he gets a permit and there's no cost to us and we're not legal,
No liability,
bound, no
yeah.
liability for anything.
okay.
And I can check with legal counsel, just ask that question to make certain that there's no liability issues.
do a double check.
Yeah, be safe. And I'll ask for a copy of the ASCS
Yeah,
permit.
and I
those
told him
types of
we would
things,
want.
So we have that in our hands.
Yeah, we would
so
want a copy of the permit. I
We'll
did
make
tell
certain
him
we have
that.
that.
Well, basically, if there's no wetland there, that he's not draining something there, and they come back to us. 'cause it's our
Exactly,
property.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That's right. He may not get it done real quick.
Yeah.
NRCS is 2,
If he's just
3,
starting it-
6 months
Yeah, we're
possibly.
already
He
on.
doesn't get it done.
Nope.
But
Just-
I wanted to bring it
It's a
to
good
your guys'
idea.
attention and just get a feel.
So that'll build up, yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay. Anything else for board discussion?
So if we're talking cattails, can we clean them out down here in this culvert, in that north culvert? This culvert right out here,
Yeah.
and then the one by the ball fields.
Is that where tiles are drained?
Right, but I don't know if
Are
you
tiles
can.
draining
Oh,
there?
I see what you're saying.
Do we have
It's a
tiles?
wetland, you won't touch them.
I see what you're saying.
This over here is the culvert that brings it from Paulson Field. When
Yeah.
they built the new school, or that school, they did that. And they dumped the tile 50, 60 feet down, and they should have went all the way down. I argued with them about that when we were building it, and they didn't want to do it. It
Well,
just,
if you-
I think it looks,
If you're close to the state, though, you gotta go through the state then, and that's why they didn't want to fight with that.
well, it's just right.
Yeah, but that's why they wouldn't take it all the way, I'm sure.
They could have took it to the pond, but they should have, but
Yeah.
I don't know. If that's something maintenance can look at, I don't know. May it look nicer and cattails look, I don't like them.
They're organic.
Yeah.
There's something that happened in the middle of the night and they were gone.
Well, You're on camera.
Okay. Is that it?
I wouldn't come myself.
Moving on, number 9, Administrators Report. Number 9.1, Superintendent's Board Report.
All right, well, board members, a few things to highlight and report. Couple of attachments that I would just direct your attention to at some point in time. It's been a busy start, diving right in, a lot going on, obviously, as you know, working really hard on staffing, and that's one of the items on the agenda that you added at the beginning. I've stepped in because we know we need to get these positions filled, working with a high school staff member to fill the high school business position, and we have a verbal acceptance, not a contract in hand yet, but for a middle school social studies position as well. So we're hopeful on both of those, and then we do have a couple of leads that I'm working on with our high school principalship, and there is a opportunity to interview a candidate as a potential full replacement, or there's also been some expressed interest in an interim, so I anticipate we'll be moving forward with that. We do have some other staffing vacancies, and because of that, I anticipate we'll probably need a special school board meeting between now and the start of school, just to get those people all shored up and in place. So just wanted everybody to be aware of that, and we'll certainly give you advance notice when we get a little bit closer to that point where we think we need to take action. One of the attachments is from MSBA, and I shared that because I want you to be aware of all of the policy changes. Thank you, Policy Committee, that we'll be dealing with. This is the printout handout, 3 slides each, and you can just see that it's pretty heavy, and there's a lot that's coming at us. MSBA shared in the webinar that they will have some new model language as well, based upon some of the policies that they are going to be suggesting we consider as you go through the negotiation process as well. So we'll be bringing that language forward for the negotiations committee to review and be aware of, but the handout that I shared with you lays out the timelines over the next several years on when certain policies need to be implemented and acted upon. Some of them, as you see, even reference August of this year, and we've worked towards some of those, and some of those we don't have a solution yet because there isn't model language yet. And so there's some work that we need to do. We've also included an attachment on our social media engagements. Again, because I know we always talk about communication, and no matter how much we do, it doesn't seem to be enough, but our social media engagement seems to be a fruitful way to share good news and the stories of what's happening in the Pipestone area schools, and kind of a fascinating story with that. Our person that we work with said that we scroll, an average person scrolls the height of and back down the Statue of Liberty every day. So when you think about how much scrolling, and somewhere in there, we want to have an impression of the Pipestone area schools. So that's good that we continue that effort. Back to school, we're all geared up for that. August 21st for new teachers, negotiations committee. There'll be extended an invite for breakfast with the new teachers on that day. And then August 28th, all staff, that Monday, we'll have everybody here. So again, that's something that you can be aware of. And been working on doing some entry plan work. I know all of you received an email from Deb, and we'll be scheduling times for me to sit down with each of you and talk to you and learn about where we're at and where we want to go. And also, there are some buildings and grounds things, so when you bring up, Lance, the question about the culverts, we can add this to the discussion. One of the things that we looked at recently was the groves around Paulson are starting to look pretty tired, and so we actually brought in some folks and talked a little bit about how can we start getting a little strategic down the road to think about replacement of those. And it's just because those pine trees were planted too close together, and we all know what happens when that happens. So we're working on those. A kind of a fun little thing that I wanted to share. And it's kind of funny because we found a postcard in my office that dated back to 2019 when I came in. And it was from a gentleman in Sacramento, California. And this is what he does in his spare time. He finds postcards and he sends them back. So I just told Deb we're going to send him a thank you. So we sent him a Pipestone Area Schools little mug. Well, it crossed in the mail. We received another one from him, and he's 90-something. I'll pass it around so you can see. He's from Oaks at Englewood Assisted Living in Stockton, California, and he found a postcard, and the other postcards we actually have sent those over to the Pipestone County Museum, but it's a picture of Pipestone Schools, Pipestone, Minnesota, and it looks like it's probably 1910-ish or something like that. So we'll pass it around so everybody can see it. Fun little story, one of those little things you don't hear very much about, but kind of fun to share that one. And the other thing I wanted to share, we've been in communication with TSP on the project. That's who the board had talked to prior about the serving as the architect on the projects. And I've asked them to start developing the contract agreement we'll get that vetted through and obviously presented to the board for approval, and then we'll enter our full engagement, with TSP as we go forward. So, and then I guess I'll just close by saying that the welcome here has been incredible. I've just really enjoyed many different community members stopping by, saying hi, reigniting some previous acquaintances and friendships, so really excited to be here. And I just want to assure you, you have so much that you can be proud of and celebrate in this district. There's a lot of community pride, so that's all I have to share tonight.
Very good. 9.2, Principals Board Report. Jennifer.
Good evening. Well, we are in summer school session 2, which is math. This is the second week that we have going. We currently have 13 teachers. 2 of those, one of them is our math interventionist and one of them is our math specialist, as well as an ML teacher. We have approximately 93 students that are attending. We have 3 paras, so the kids are having a blast learning about math the last couple of weeks. Current hiring, I filled my 4th grade and 5th grade position. I am currently working on our math interventionist position. We've had an applicant and an interview, and a couple of para positions, which I feel like we can get filled here in the next week or 2, so we'll be fully staffed. As far as teacher training, we have letters training coming up on August 2nd. That would be for Unit 4 with that. So those are kind of the big things that we have going on, and we've been working as a team to get everything up and rolling and figure it out for back to school coming up here very shortly.
When, do you have the back to school days yet, or no? Are they doing it that week before, or no?
Yep, so that Wednesday, so that would be the 30th is,
30th,
I think
okay.
Thursday is, or sorry, Wednesday is our.
And then I had a couple of people question when they will know their teachers for elementary. Do you know that date yet?
Yep, so our class, or the class list will be going out to teachers, I believe tomorrow is what I talked to with my secretary, and then everything will be getting sent out. So Christy will
next
be
week or so.
in the next week or so.
Okay.
Yep. Class lists and school supplies and all of that, so Christy's been working on that.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
Very good. 9.3, with Mel not being here, we don't have a report. Number 10, discussion items. Is there any other items we need discussion? Number 11, board action. 11.1, resolution approving gifts to the school. I'd like to thank Christ the King Church for the $100 donation to the wellness room. Can I get a motion to approve the gifts to the school?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.2,
I think there's 2 on there. There's
I saw
another-
one.
There's another one on there for, football.
Oh, no, that's this next one.
Oh, okay.
11.2, resolution approving gifts to the high school activities. I'd like to thank Melanie Wellnitz for the $300 gift for football. And we had an anonymous donation of $2,530 for the boys' basketball uniforms. Can I get a motion approving the gifts to the high school activities?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.3, approve 2023-2024 Little Arrows Preschool Handbook. I think when we do this, let's do 11.3 through 11.6. Is that okay, Clint? We just do them all?
I have
So,
a question about one of them then.
okay,
The middle school handbook,
yep,
when you look at the lunch stuff, it doesn't say, like the elementary one says that it's free now,
yep,
but the middle school one does not.
that one still has.
That one still has, like, it sounds like we're charging people, so I feel like that should be changed. Because that's school-wide, correct? I mean, it's
It
not
is
just
correct.
elementary. So, what
The only
page
thing
is-
with the middle school handbook, it never makes it to the second reading because they Each student gets one, and it's,
Their planner.
thank you.
It's their
Thank you.
planner.
You know. So it generally only gets to one reading. I don't even know why we bring it to a second reading, because it is in for print right now.
Okay.
So there will have to be something put in there to update that lunches
Right.
are free.
I just want to make sure people are aware that
Yep.
it's free, you know,
Yep.
and then I guess for next year, then we should make sure to, if it's going to continue, I guess we don't know if it's going to continue, but try to get it in there so we
Yeah.
can.
I'll make a note for Kathy for that, for,
I just, you know, where it's been back and forth, I just want to make sure people are all on the same page. That was one thing I was.
and Clint, did you have anything to say about the middle school, high school?
I was just gonna comment on the middle school, high school handbook.
Or the high
Um,
school, I guess, high school.
So the high school handbook, we have actually reached out to the School Boards Association, again, with all the policy changes. They have a model handbook, and then we know that every I is dotted and T is crossed, and we're consistent with the state law. So we have that not ready for presentation tonight, because we did want the new high school principal to put their fingerprints on it. So that's why that one is void, the list that we see tonight.
So should we just approve?
Need a motion to say.
No, okay, we're going to, I need a motion to approve 11.3 through 11.6. Approve the handbooks that are listed, if I can get them.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.7, approve Heartland Colony lease for 23-24. Anything to add, Clint?
Yeah, we had this vetted by legal counsel, everything looks good. We didn't know when the last time that had been reviewed, so we made certain that that is as it needs to be. And once this is approved by action of the board, we'll get the final signatures and move it forward accordingly.
Move we approve the Heartland Colony lease for 23-24.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Heartland Colony lease for 23-24. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.8, approve federal title representative and homeless liaison Jennifer Moravitz.
We're just required to have somebody named as our title person. And this is part of what goes on the consolidated Title I application.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.9, resolution approving school district number 2689 long-term facility maintenance 10-year plan.
Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna phone a friend.
Phone a friend, and that'd be me. Okay, so every year, the state basically requires us, so we have to submit these spreadsheets, and you guys probably have the one spreadsheet that says the 10-year expenditure application. One is revenues, one's expenditures. So I go through here and I list, and actually the list is the list that Kevin had prepared. So I go through here and I list out all the projects that he said, but we plan on doing within the next 10 years. Obviously, this can change. And then the next three sheets is the revenue projections. I just input our student counts, and then the state calculates the rest of it. What I would focus on, and what you may want to focus on, would be the bottom of the 10-year expenditure application, the very bottom where it says the beginning fund balance, revenues, expenditures, and we always are ending up with a positive fund balance except for 1 year, and then we make that up the next year. And we do this every year, so just, you know, what's on here for fiscal year 27 obviously may change. Does anyone have any questions? I know the newer board members, you may not have seen this before. I can explain it to you in more detail.
kind of a moving target as projects rise to the top.
Kind of leaves out a lot of the roofing, and things that are like that kind of
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
comes up on.
Air exchangers,
Yeah.
the bigger ticket items.
And I do have these sheets too, if the new board members want to see where the numbers came from, and this kind of lists the projects. Come and talk to me about my binders any day you want.
It's initiation, Tyler, you have to go.
Can I get a motion approving the resolution, or approving the school district long-term facility maintenance 10-year plan?
Someone.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.10, retirement letter from Lori Fricky, speech therapist. I just want to thank her for her 34 years at the district. In this day and age, that's pretty incredible. I need a motion approving the retirement letter from Lori.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.11, MOU with South Dakota State University. Let me share a little more.
Yeah, so the universities present school districts with MOUs or memorandums of understanding, and it's to support what they do with placement, field placement opportunities for student teachers or pre-service teachers. And again, this is something that every school district they partner with, they enter into these types of agreements, and it's all about laying out how their field experiences are supervised, expectations of the school district, and likewise what we can expect from the university.
Do we have any other agreements with other colleges? Is it just SCSU?
I did not know.
We have had student teachers that have come from Marshall.
Yes, the SMSU.
SMSU?
Madison, I thought, DSU. I've seen some before.
I'm sure we've had them in the past from DSU. I can't imagine Blunt here.
Doesn't sense where the interest is or what the.
I'm not aware of any other agreements right now. This is the only
I
one
mean,
I'm aware of.
SDSU is a great school.
You had a motion approving the MOU with South Dakota State University.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 11.12, approve policies. 102, equal educational opportunity. 418, drug-free workplace, drug-free school. 419, tobacco-free environment. 424, license status. 507, corporal punishment and prone restraint. 509, enrollment of non-resident students. 514, bullying prohibition policy. 516.5, overdose medication. 532, use of peace officers and crisis teams. 602, organization of school calendar and school day. And 709, student transportation safety policy. Are there any questions on any of these policies? Any discussion?
I'll just interject real quick that it was shared with, again, with a number of these having requirements taking effect in the start of August here, that if it is a provision of state law, boards can adopt a policy with one reading. And that's why you see some of these coming as they are, because again, it's a change that occurred up in St. Paul, and there just frankly isn't the time frame to allow for a couple of readings with some of these. So that's why you see them being presented for recommendation this evening.
Can I get a motion to approve the policies?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 12, adjournment.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same
I
sign.
can't get them right.
Motion passes.